Seeing skulls that burn, they trying to throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me the box.
All right, hello and welcome. It's Shark Stream. I'm Gage. You know how this all works by now, I would hope. If not, you must be new here. Welcome. Boy howdy, is it ever Saturday. And it's been a week since our last stream. Again, still dealing with quite a bit here at home with everything going on with Natalie, so haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to really pop in and kind of get things underway here. So, but you know, still looking into some stuff. Still hoping to get some things taken care of. Hoping to get back to a normal schedule soon. Just as soon as we get everything settled with Natalie, make sure she's doing good. But today I'm planning to finish Resident Evil Revelations. This is our 5th Resident Evil Revelations stream, which may be like 2 streams longer than it probably should have lasted. Only because, like, I don't, if you may have noticed, you may not have noticed, I kind of get distracted in this game a lot. Like, there's been a lot of instances of me just, like, coming to a dead stop to just talk about whatever bullshit is on my mind. Which is something I enjoy doing. I enjoy talking about things. Truly, I was meant for the podcasts, but I hate editing podcasts. I've done it before. It's not fun. But I mean, that's part of the reason we're here, isn't it? Part of it's for the gameplay. Other part of it is for me to just talk about all sorts of fucking nonsense. So what's been going on? I've been getting into Marvel Rivals recently. I don't know. I'm not planning. I'm personally not planning to stream it because I don't want to. I don't. I've talked about this before. I don't generally like PvP games most of the time. Marvel Rivals, I tried a couple rounds of it. I found myself enjoying it. I'm hoping to get back into it at some point. Just because I have been nominally enjoying myself. Especially playing with friends. But PvP games, like, especially like team shooters like that, are rough for me because, like, I have just like a bit of personal history. I have seen people get real ugly about PvP games. Like, I had a friend when I was growing up that, like, we would play Halo 2 together, and they just had, like, the worst attitude when we were doing anything that wasn't winning. And it was a rough time. We eventually kind of had like a bit of a falling out, and yeah, wasn't a good time for anybody involved, quite frankly. I don't think neither one of us really got out of that looking particularly good, realistically speaking. But it kind of put me off PvP games for a while. And it's just like, I generally enjoy like co-op games more, where it's just like, you know, just the focus is on cooperation, helping each other. Hello, Lila. And just like without having to, because like generally with a PvP game, or really with any multiplayer game, there is the distinct possibility that if something is going wrong for the team, it could be your fault. You know? And I feel like with like a co-op game, there's a little bit less pressure to do everything perfectly, you know? Like PvP games are it's a little, the pressure's on a little bit more just because usually those are like timed matches and you need to get your shit together or else. So that's generally why I tend to kind of like stay away from PvP games for the most part. The problem is that I know a lot of the people I know, it's kind of a two-pronged issue, right? A lot of friends that I have that play multiplayer games are either A, playing PvP games, or B, playing co-op games I don't own or have no interest in. which is an issue for me specifically. That is something that I have to deal with. And it's just like, oh, I wanna play a game with my friends. What game can I play? What game is all my friends playing? Oh, I have a bunch of friends playing Fortnite. That's tragic. I don't like Fortnite. I'm sorry. It's the Funko Pop of gaming, and I feel like I'm waiting for everybody to catch up to that fact. I don't enjoy it, and I don't enjoy the overall impact that it's had on, like, gaming as a medium, generally speaking. I don't care if Miku's in it. I got a fly on my screen, hold on. Gotcha. And again, it's also a PvP game. And then it's just like, okay, well, what games do I want to play with people? It's just like, it's a lot of co-op games. Like, I've been wanting to get back into Abyss recently. And I've been trying to, like, set something up for that. I haven't managed anything recently just because I haven't really had a lot of time. I did pop back into the game recently, and I got a couple achievements that were, like, pretty easy to get, stuff that you can get, like, even as, like, a level 1. I found the bunny suit, which was nice. I can deal with FF14 Frontline because it's such a crapshoot anyways. Oh god, I missed out on... I had to play Frontline a bunch to get the weapon that I'm using for the Shadowbringers playthrough. And I had always meant to go back in and do like at least 1 or 2 more games in order to get through the 14 Battle Pass to get an emote that was available, because I know that like a lot of that stuff is just fucking... This is why I fucking hate Battle Passes, because it's just like, hey, idiot, play our game constantly or you'll never get these cool rewards. And it's just like, how much fucking time do you think I have? It's frustrating. And then, like, I got kind of excited hearing that, like, oh yeah, with Marvel Rivals, like, you can keep earning from battle passes even after they've ended. It's just like, okay, cool. There's stuff I want on the original battle pass that I would like to eventually be able to get. And then I find out that the only way that you can get them after the season ends is if you've purchased the luxury battle pass. It's just like, motherfucker. Now there's a bunch of shit in Season 0 that I can't get, and it's like, is that ever gonna come back? I don't know. They may never bring it back. And it's just like, this is the dumbest fucking shit. I hate battle passes and I hate gacha. Like, I've barely touched, like... I started playing Zenless Zone Zero and I played it for a good while. But I got to the point where it's just like, this isn't really interesting me anymore. And I feel like I'm just stuck in tutorials forever. And also, my god, everyone talks way too goddamn much. You know, it's just, it's so... Okay, we gotta get started here. I gotta put the disc in. 1 second. I picked up a couple games recently at a cheap price that I might want to like stream sometime. Specifically, I plan to... Hello? Someone's at my door? Yep, you can come in. Is that spaghetti? Oh shit, that's spaghetti.
It's spaghetti for me.
It's... Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
Alright, alright.
For you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy them Revelaitons.
I will.
Like how delicious the spaghetti is about.
I bet it's pretty good. Ixal made it. I play Hoyo is fucking cursed. I hate them. Thank you. I play Genshin a lot, and Nature's Hard a bit too. I can hate them a lot. Spaghetti. Yeah, I think... God, isn't MiHoYo, like, under fucking investigation by the FTC or something right now?
Resident Evil Revelations.
In my heart of hearts, I know it's because, like, the FTC is scared of China for whatever reason. Like, the same shit that they were fucking freaking out about regarding, like, the TikTok ban, and now everybody's gone to Red Note. It's just like, yeah, I don't think this worked out the way you guys wanted it to. But at the same time, like, a part of me is just like, I kind of hope this ruins the gacha format forever and forces them to just, you know, make a video game. Just make a good video game, you know? Just make it good. It's so easy, just make the game good. Like, this was... Okay. I know I just complained about Marvel Rivals Battle Pass bullshit, but this is something I actually like about Marvel Rivals, where it's just like, hey, do you want to just have the characters without having to, like, worry about, like, weekly rotations or needing to unlock them? Here, just have all of the characters. Like, that's great! I like that! I can try out any character I want. I'm kind of feeling hella right now, and I'm a little disappointed that, like, I didn't really connect with Magic quite as much because Big Sword. But, like, it's nice. It's honestly nice to know that, like, if I wanted to, I could just boot it up, try out any character, think, I want to give this a shot in an actual match, and then just fucking go for it, you know? Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. Let's go ahead and get in there. We have to fight a big gross whale. Previously on Homestar10.com. I'm gonna eat this spaghetti.
She's trying to activate the ship's self-destruct mechanism to destroy the evidence.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
It appears my bright young assistant has made the last move. Now, have I made things clear to you? Jessica!
I'm sorry, Parker.
See you guys.
Parker.
Alright, I was able to eat some spaghetti during that. Episode 11, Revelations. We already had the kind of like the big revelation where it's just like, oh yeah, the Terra Grigia panic was manufactured by the FBC to justify the existence of the FBC. Some real false flag bullshit.
Extraction is not possible at this time. I'll execute a holding pattern. Patrick out.
Oh god, that's right. We have to fight it from the foredeck first. Oh god.
What have they created?
We can do this, Chris.
Yeah, but with pistols? Maybe not. I think we need something big. Oh, okay. We're just in there now. We can certainly try! Oh god. Oh fuck.
What can we do?
Oh! Ow. Jesus.
I dropped off some ammo for you.
Thanks. I'm gonna probably need to try a different gun here. Oh god, the ammo's all the way over there. Oh! Oh, bitch! Fuck. Alright. Never mind. Honestly, the Lightning Hawk might be the way to fucking go here. Oh! Ah, fuck. Hey, hold on. Where's my gun? There it is. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Ah. Let me just, ow. Fucking ow.
I dropped off some ammo for you.
I'm working on it. Ow, ow. Oh, did I win? Oh, did I win?
I'll drop down a ladder. Come on up.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and, okay. Want to make sure I've got all my weapons. I saw something like this, like, RE4 to 6. This is kind of similar to, like, an RE5 monster. Which reminds me, I gotta start looking into getting art for that. I think I have an idea for what artist I want to do.
Hold on. I'll get us out of here.
No, not yet. We can't let this thing roam free.
Yeah, that would probably be pretty bad, actually. Oh. Alright. I'm on board, I'm on board.
Ready, Chris?
Can't hit it from here. Take us closer.
I can't. Too many bogeys.
Trust me.
Okay, fine.
Ugh.
Your seats.
Okay, okay. Alright, we just gotta focus here. This is actually going pretty well. Oh, no you don't. Ah! Bullets flying in front of my goddamn face. I like how the main body just appears to be like straight up just like dead. Like it's not even itself alive. It's just kind of a host for these fucking things. You know? Ow. Oh, right. Oop.
Watch out!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Fire chill.
What this is kind of reminding me of, this kind of feels like Gears of War-ish. This feels like a final boss. Nope. It super isn't. Yes, we can. It's okay. I used a healing item on the helicopter. Wakey, wakey, big guy. Oh, hold on. This guy. They're sinking cities with a giant whale. I got Gears on the brain just a little bit, because one of the games that I actually like picked up for relatively cheap was a copy of Gears 5.
Did we kill it?
Which realistically I could just get for free through like Game Pass or games with gold, but like I want to have like a physical copy of it, because I've got physical copies of like all the other Gears of War games. Oh shit, alright. Ah.
And that's all she wrote for the Zenobia.
It's me. What's happening?
All sorts of shit.
On our way out. We lost Parker.
We didn't. He's fine. Hello, Xanda. Welcome.
Jessica took the whole ship down. The FBC? Well, Morgan. He was one step ahead of us the whole way.
Yes, I see. I hate to think this could all be a mistake. My mistake.
Yeah, it might have been. Just a little bit.
Come clean with us, O'Brien. Don't leave anything out.
All right. It all started 1 year ago. Right
Yeah.
there, Terra Grigia.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait. Do we have another flashback chapter? Very snake-coded results screen. Xanda, you wanted me to remind you to do something when your internet was back up and running. Ugh. God, excuse me. Wait. Next. I think this is another flashback sequence. Yeah. 1 year ago. Teleguidia. Hello, Venom Lad. Welcome.
Yes. They call it Terra Grigia.
So this actually takes place before the last flashbacks chapter. Because the last flashback had the anyway. What was I saying? I actually wanted to talk about this. So, like I said, I bought a couple games on the cheap recently. I got Gears 5 because I want to do a full playthrough of the Gears series on stream. Because I actually really like the Gears of War series, at the very least the first 3 games. I never finished Gears 4, and because I never finished Gears 4, I never went on to Gears 5, but Gears 1 through 3, love them. Great series of games, fantastic gameplay. Definitely want to check those out on stream, especially because we got that prequel coming out soon, that's all about E-Day, and I absolutely want to check that shit out. Excuse me. Now, funny thing about the copy of Gears 5 I got like an Arabic copy of it. Like, let me take a look here. There's a website here on, like, the rating. gcam.gov.sa/games. Hold on. gcam.gov.sa/games. So I think this is like Saudi Arabia. SA, right? SA would probably be Saudi Arabia. Surprising no one, I can't read this fucking website. That's on me for not knowing the language, though. But it's kind of funny because it's got some of like the stuff that you would expect, where it's just like it's nominally in English, but then it has like translations into like other languages on it. Which, you know, is pretty standard. Like, I've bought games in like Canada where they had to print the box in both English and French. I think my copy of WarioWare Touched is like that. But what's very funny is that physical copies of Gears 5 come with a code to get a character pack featuring characters from Terminator Dark Fate. Specifically, I think it's a T-800 and then Sarah Connor. And because the little graphic for that on the front of the box is as small as it is, they can't print both the English and the Arabic translation on the same graphic. So the little graphic for the bonus Terminator Dark Fate character pack is just on there twice in 2 different languages, which is very funny to me. So looking forward to that. I also picked up, because this only cost me like $15. I picked up Forspoken, that fantasy isekai game that Square Enix released that everyone was making fun of because of just like the very sort of, well, that just happened style dialogue. Mostly because, I mean, it was $15. And like, I feel like I didn't necessarily hear anything explicitly bad about like the actual gameplay itself. So I'd like to give it a try. You know, see how it is. Cause like I think back to like our time with oh god, what was the spell checking game? What was that called? I already forget. Hold on. What was that fucking game called? It's just owned games. I played Gears 5, end of sentence. These are the things that I hear, yeah. We're gonna need to just scroll through every single game that I own until I confirm what the game that I'm trying to think of is called. Give me a moment. Eating Gate Edge of Life is a bad game. It's kind of a boring game. It's all a dream. It's all a dream. Immortals of Avium. That's what it was. Like, I think back to, like, Immortals of Avium, and it's just like, yeah, that game had, like, very, he's behind me, isn't he, dialogue, and it was actually pretty fun to play, you know? Give me a second, I'm gonna eat some of the spaghetti. So, if we play Forspoken, and it's just, like, kind of in the same boat, where it's just like, yeah, I wish everybody would stop talking that way, but, like, I'm having fun playing the game, I'm okay with that. Because people don't think I'm just hating. Gears 5 is fine gameplay-wise, though it's hard to whip up Gears gameplay. I just couldn't give any less of a flip-flop for the story. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I fell with Gears 4 and why I sort of fell off that game as hard as I did. Just everything wrapped up really nicely with Gears 3. I think that's also why I couldn't really get into Gears Judgment. Because I just didn't care at that point. Like, Gears 3, oh man. I'm thinking about Gears 3 now. Fuck. I can't wait to play that on stream. But, like, Gears 4, I think with Gears 4, the thing that, like, really kind of threw me off was, like, whenever they started introducing the new enemies and, like, the characters would be coming up with, like, the names for the enemies on the fly, and you'd keep seeing, like, the words they're using for them pop up in the subtitles as, like, proper nouns, and it's just like, oh, is that what we're calling them now? Okay, sure. I think I was also just tired of Nolan North's voice. That feels mean to say. But hear me out. I don't really care about Marcus's son. You know? Like, I thought maybe I'd like Gears of War Judgment because, like, Baird is one of my favorite characters. And then it just wasn't interesting. Which is unfortunate.
This place won't last much longer.
Right. We should get to the command room. Yeah. We have to.
Oh shit.
HQ is done for.
I have no weapons, no ammo. Okay. Really kind of pushing how dire things are right now.
Commissioner Lansdowne was right.
The boss has pushed for an expansion of the FBC's purview. This is just the kind of thing he was warning the world about.
And this incident will bring the crisis to the limelight. It could be good PR, really.
Yeah, maybe the international community will finally get the message. The FBC has a lot of growing to do.
That's okay, just punch everything to death. What's that noise? Sounds like Conan O'Brien. Oh.
Roger.
Oh, you got him. Oh.
There's no end to these things.
Oh, are they behind us? Oh, shit.
We have to get rid of them.
Hold on. Got him. Oh good, it's something way more scary than hunters. Raymond.
You're hurt bad. Don't try to act tough. All right, somebody lend him a shoulder. Parker?
Yeah, alright.
HQ has told you to leave.
But I can still fight.
You're not convincing me. Come on, grab on.
See, when we did the last flashback chapter, Raymond was already injured. This is how it happened.
We have to do something.
Heavily outnumbered. We have to regroup.
Can't let Raymond force himself over this. Can I put him down or something, or?
How did they pull this off with just a few dozen men? Who are them? And the BOWs? These terrorists must be brought to justice. Blast it.
This motherfucker said blast it. Got a blast! Sorry. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. It feels like Gears 4 Plus was made just because it could, and in order to, like, the plot, you just gotta go, okay, sure, I guess that could have happened a lot. Plus, without going to spoilers, it feels like it really hates Marcus. It's going to be interesting to kind of like find out in real time. But yeah, I think maybe that's why with the new one, they're doing the E-Day prequel route.
You're too young to play hero. Earn some stripes before you get yourself killed.
Because it's just like going back to like a part of the story that back when like people still cared. I'm wondering if I should reread Asphalt Fields before streaming those games. Because I own a couple of the Gears of War novels. And there's at least one character that I know of from the novels that shows up in one of the games. She shows up in 3, I believe. Okay, the FBC's charter. The Federal Bioterrorism Commission was founded by the U.S. government to be the enforcing agency of the guidelines set forth in the National Species Protection Act. This document outlines the FBC's charter and the responsibilities of its members. The FBC is charged with protecting the United States and her interests from biological threats. Our organization will work with other countries and their respective wildlife protection organs to guard public health. As such, we are tasked with ensuring the biological safety of the public at large. The duties of all FBC members include the research, training, and support of the biological community. Policies will be fomented on a needs-only basis, with any additional budget expenditures and extraordinary activities being approved by a plenary session of the Wildlife Protection Committee. The FBC chair is selected by the Wildlife Protection Committee. The chair's duties include complete oversight of the FBC and coordination of all activities with respective U.S. cabinet officials. The FBC chair is the final overseer of the National Animal Protection Community. All members of the National Animal Protection Community are entitled to request help from the chair, including the Secretary of State and Defense and the Director of National Intelligence. However, the chair has final authority on all matters of national biological safety. I'm going to eat some spaghetti real quick. So, just to make sure it's clear, the FBC is a U.S. government organization, while the BSAA, I believe, is more along the lines of like, I think it's more multinational. Just based on the distinction between the two organizations and what we know from like Resident Evil 5. Where there's like BSAA members stationed in Africa. Well, I'm almost done with my spaghetti. So, yeah, hey. Kind of wild that the United States government specific organization is the one that's kind of ruining everything for everyone else, huh? This is actually a pretty common thread in the Resident Evil series, and I don't know if anyone really ever notices it, where it's just like, hey, people in the government people in, like, the government bodies are oftentimes the ones who are pulling all the shit behind the scenes. Like, you've got, like, the entire plot of Resident Evil 6, like, one of the main bad guys in Resident Evil 6. Not, like, the main bad guy, because the main bad guy in Resident Evil 6, like, you don't find out about until, like, Ada's campaign. But one of the major bad guys in RE6 is established as the dude who made the decision to nuke Raccoon City. And it turns out, like, he's the one who is, in a lot of ways, kind of behind Neo Umbrella. He's also doing all of it because he wants to fuck Ada, and Ada doesn't want to fuck him. But that is another thing entirely. And we'll get there when we get there. Weirdly, I think, like, the only... Like, I'm trying to think here. The only other, like, government entities that we know of that, like, aren't awful is, like... God, what's the name of the woman that, like, is Leon's, like, guy in the chair? I forget her name. Hunnigan? I don't remember. Like, she's fine. And then, like, we've had, like, 2 presidents that are, like, reasonably okay. One was just really concerned for his daughter, and then the one in RE6 is established as actually, like, being Leon's, like, actual friend. All right. I'm kind of excited. Once this game is finished, I'm planning to start doing Star Wars game streams, starting with Force Unleashed. Because I really like Force Unleashed. And I got new art. I got new art for that. I got new art for Star Wars games in particular. And it's good art. I think that's the same guy, the president. No, I believe it's established that the president in RE4 and the president in RE6 are different presidents. Like, they're different guys. Leon just ended up working for both of them?
Not good. You're losing blood.
It's too dangerous to move him. He needs immediate first aid.
I don't know. I think the president, the RE4 president is in, fucking, what's it called? Infinite Darkness, I think?
We should be okay here.
The med unit's on the 4th floor. We might find something to bandage him up.
We'll be back, Cadet. Don't go anywhere.
Everything will be okay. All right, let's go, Parker.
Don't need to tell me twice. Oh, God. Xanda, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it and appreciate you. Yeah, I am currently taking donations to help with my wife Natalie's recent visit to the hospital a couple weeks back. I am planning to do a bigger donation drive, but I'm trying to like work out the logistics of it because I want to have a gimmick for it. I want it to be fun, you know?
Nothing new, but aren't you a little hard on the new guy?
You mean Raymond? The only way those guys will grow up is with a little towel snapping.
Okay, fine. Guys and your little games.
Gender. You know, I was listening to like the previous episode recap earlier, and I was thinking just like, why the fuck does a boat have a self-destruct sequence? And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's also a fucked up Resident Evil lab. 1 second. Bonk. Oh, he's dead. He's like dead for real. I want to keep going up. Hold on.
This way.
Yeah, hold on.
The 4th floor's this way.
Yeah, hold on. One open. Oop. Ow. Because, like, what if there's something up here, you know? Won't open. And there is something up here. There's ammo up here. 15 whole bullets. Yeah, I'm excited to, like, dip into Star Wars games, honestly. I can't say that I probably won't play any of, like, the newer stuff. I'll probably play, like, older stuff, because just, like, I find those games considerably more interesting. I am really excited about the re-release of Jedi Power Battles. I'm so excited for that. Because, like, I've talked about this before. I played the shit out of that game as a kid. So when I, like, found out that they were doing, like a remaster of it, I was extremely excited. London Daily Courier, Who Commands the General by Donatello Luzacci. That guy. Is he just a shadowy figure manipulating events from off stage? Or is he a hero leading the charge against bioterrorism? Anyone who has heard General Morgan Lansdale give a speech will be immediately struck by his intelligence and keen insight. That charisma that charms his audiences served him well in the cloak and dagger world of international espionage he occupied for many years. He was able to charm Congress into expanding the charter of his group to find and deal with bioterrorist threats. Which brings us to today. Lansdale not only commands the FBC, but also the Federal Species Protection Committee. He refuses to give up either of these posts. Lansdale created the FBC to handle bioterrorism. The organization is a major player on the international stage of public safety and animal welfare, and that is all thanks to Lansdale. But the question remains, is he a hero or a monster? Only time will tell. Fuck, man, you said it. I'm considering streaming Jedi Academy because I love that game, one of my favorites. I also have that one. But I do want to start with... Oh, shit. Ow. Motherfucker. I do want to start with Force Unleashed. Both Force Unleashed games, because I really like the Force Unleashed games a lot. The first one more so. The first one, it seems like they knew what they were doing a little bit more than the second one did. Good old Star Unaliver. Get that TikTok speak out of here. Picked up Tourniquet.
Here we are.
Tourniquet.
This should do for the meantime.
All right.
God, more hunters. If you can hear me, get back here now.
Raymond's in trouble. We have to go back.
He'll be fine.
I knew that rookie would be a pain in the ass.
Don't take it out on him. It's not his fault.
Bonk! Oh! What else has been going on? Oh, right. There's been a couple, like, big news. Hey. Raymond, please.
You are not going to die.
I'm trying to talk here.
We're coming.
So, in terms of, like, major recent news, we finally got the Switch 2. Bonk. Just like it actually exists, everybody. We did it. We got there. Oh, hello.
They just keep coming. I'm fine, but they might.
Hey, held on good there.
Just leave the fighting to us. We'll show you
Whoa.
how it's done.
Oh, is there another one? Ow!
All right, safe and sound.
Now we can take care of our little cadet.
How bad are you hurt? All right, cadet. Now you owe me one.
Yeah.
I get it. You want justice served. No more heroics. End up getting the whole unit killed. Yeah.
Don't make him feel bad or anything.
To the real world.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That should ease the pain.
I should be able to walk.
Then follow us. The
Call that
elevator to the
walking?
command room is right there.
Anyways, what was I saying? But yeah, Switch 2. Isn't it incredible? Like, fucking Christ almighty. It felt like every single time there was some kind of, like, upcoming Nintendo Direct, everyone's just like, oh, they're going to show off the Switch 2. We're going to see the Switch 2. And it's just like, we never saw the Switch 2. This time it was a little bit more reasonable that it was coming up because we started getting all those like product leaks. Just like, hey, here's this peripheral that's going to be coming out. Switch 2 revealing having the side effect of the day-month-year versus month-day-year debate raging on is hilarious. Yeah. Your internet died again? I'm sorry. You should tell it to cut that out. And then in sadder news, David Lynch unfortunately passed away. And this upset me greatly. As you may be aware, just between like me, when all the times I've talked about like influences on like Alan Wake or Deadly Premonition, or even just like playing the Twin Peaks fan game, I'm a huge fan of Twin Peaks. So it was devastating to hear that David Lynch passed away, but God, what a fucking legacy to leave behind, you know? Like that's the big thing that I think is important to remember. Just like the legacy of just like all of his work and just like his fucking uncompromising vision and just what he brought to the table in terms of like visuals and storytelling is just unparalleled. And I said this on Twitter, there are so many games and other pieces of media that I enjoy that straight up would not exist without Twin Peaks influence. Like, there's no possible way to quantify the effect that he had on just like the landscape of media. It's unfathomable. Love that shit. Like you've got like the subtler stuff, like a lot of the like elements of just like every single like small town with a dark secret kind of narrative, stuff like Alan Wake, to stuff that's just like incredibly blatant, like the very first Deadly Premonition just straight up basically being a Twin Peaks game, or like fucking Life is Strange 1 having like Fire Walk With Me graffiti on the written on the goddamn wall. Just like, we get it, you've seen Twin Peaks. Like, just impossible to overstate this man's influence, and he is 100% going to be missed.
Think you can move, Cadet? I can fend off anything that comes our way.
Oh, Lord Gage is talking about Twin Peaks again. What kind of, like, delay do I have on my stream right now? I feel like people are responding to things that I said, like, 5 minutes ago. Anyway. Yeah, I'm talking about Twin Peaks again. You can't stop me talking about Twin Peaks. I will never stop. Sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm distracted mentally. Okay, fair enough.
Think about it. The delivery and dispatchment of these POWs. It's too professional.
I don't want to think about it.
They managed to evade the FBC's vast intelligence network. It just doesn't add up. Unless somebody wanted this to happen.
Cadets, you're stepping out of bounds.
Fucked up if true.
We're not here to investigate this thing. We're here to resolve it.
But everything I've said, it's sound.
Yeah, it's sound. That's what you make with your mouth. It's not taste. Everything I've said, it's sound. Listen to yourself. Requiescat in pace. Requiescat? What the fuck?
For the love of God,
Yeah, it's bad.
Command room's close by. Just keep our cadet alive.
I know you're hurt, but try to keep up, Cadet.
Machine gun ammo. Go ahead and grab this. Go ahead and grab this. Go ahead and grab this.
He hasn't made it yet. Give him some cover.
We'll
Huh?
take care
Oh.
of this. Again, you'll find shelter in the command room.
I'm on my way.
Looks like Raymond got through.
1 second. Bonk. Ow. Bitch. I'm going over here. Ow. Is that it? Are we done?
That should be the last of the hunters.
Sick.
I would hope so. Let's hit the command room.
Woo! And then this is where the last one
Yes,
started.
I understand, and I can hear you just fine. That is simply splendid news. Everything is in perfect order. Enjoy the rest of the celebration on the Queen Dido, Norman.
The what?
Morgan, you intended for the virus to break out on our ship?
What's a Dido?
Well, we've certainly been had.
I'm not done yet. You still have an important purpose. The ship serves as a controlled environment, and the data on your mutation will serve a venerable purpose.
The boldness of your self-absorbed ambitions is impressive. I am always disgusted by what you Americans can dream up.
I will take that as a compliment.
We knew that you could end up being a liability. So we've kept video records of all of our interactions. If they go public, your life is finished.
You may do as you please. Use of the satellite has been approved. The new virus will be completely eradicated.
You bastard!
Full soon shall thou be where thine eye shall answer make to thee of this, seeing the cause which reigneth down the blast.
What? Alright, calm down.
Or could you? Jessica has escaped. We were so close.
Yeah, see, they're gonna be fine.
Hey, sorry, Raymond. You were right all along. Thank God somebody was on top of things. Don't be so hard on yourself, Parker. Now it's my turn to save you. Come on. We're getting out of here.
That's the spirit, Cadet.
Raymond realized that Morgan was not who he seemed, so we set this trap together. The whole Veltro Revival Act.
The mountain hideout, and the coordination of the ships. All to put heat on Morgan? But sir, couldn't you have at least told us?
I couldn't risk it. Not with a mole inside the BSAA. My apologies.
All that work, in both the Zenobia and the Semiramis.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't given up yet.
There's a third ship.
They've left us with an ace in the hole. The data analysis they sent us, the results are in.
Well, what were they?
We assumed Veltro made use of 2 sister ships in the Terra Grigia panic. But there was a third.
The final queen.
Was the Zenobia, Semiramis, and Dido actually in Dante's Inferno? Queen, Zenobia. Asa! Because this whole thing is about... is like all like based on like motherfucking Dante's Inferno shit. Zenobia appears as a playable Archer-class servant in the 2015 mobile game Fate Grand Order by single and empathy plays. Alright. Not exactly what I was looking for, but alright. That's fine. Yay. Save successful. So I saw Kraven the Hunter recently. Because of course I did. And, it weren't good. It was bad. But, like, I enjoyed myself, you know? I had fun with it.
Previously on Resident Evil Revelations.
Come clean with us, O'Brien. Don't leave anything out.
Everything is in perfect order. Enjoy the rest of the celebration on the Queen Dido, Norman. Raymond realized that Morgan was not who he seemed. So we set this trap together. The whole Veltro revival act.
The mountain hideout, and the coordination of the ships. All to put heat on Morgan?
But I haven't given up yet. They've left us with an ace in the hole.
Webbing and Beepo, Webawation. Episode 12. The Queen is dead.
The final queen.
Yes, Queen Dido.
Queen Ditto?
On the ocean floor since
Queen
that
Dildo?
Which means we'll find her.
The Terra Grigia.
Exactly. We have a responsibility to see this mission through. O'Brien out.
So we've got the Queen Sam Raimi, the Queen Dildo, and I don't have a funny alternate name for Zenobia. Zenobia is already kind of like a wacky name, honestly. Uh-oh.
FBC, everybody freeze! Put your heads in the air!
Do they actually have this kind of authority? Like, do they have jurisdiction here?
Morgan Lansdale.
Morgan Lansdale.
The BSAA is hereby under the direct supervision of the FBC.
Can they do that?
Clive R. O'Brien, you are under arrest for collaborating with the terrorist organization Veltro.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain if they can do that.
Chris.
To like an international force. Also, it's just now dawning on me. They have the same fucking acronym as the Federal Bureau of Control. Good question. I think at this point the BSAA is privately funded.
The remains of Terra Grigia.
Oh, maybe.
And the Queen Dido.
The Queen Dildo.
Approaching drop-off point.
Did y'all like the swimming? Everybody enjoy the swimming mechanics? Because we're about to do a lot of swimming. Oh, boy. Didn't come under the UN until after all this nonsense. Ah, alright. That might do it then, yeah. Queen shit. Okay, we need to stop for a second because I gotta talk about Kraven the Hunter. So Kraven the Hunter is the most recent entry in Sony's Spider-Man universe, aka the Spider-Man movies that are not in any way allowed to even acknowledge the fact that Spider-Man exists. Realistically speak, like Peter Parker cannot be in these movies by any means. He was only just barely in Madam Web. It may also be the final non-Venom Sony Spider-Man universe movie, just based on reports in Variety. Is there a spider person in the movie? No. But there are spiders. Which, I'll get to that in a fucking second. Here's the thing. So you've got the trilogy of Venom movies, which are all pretty good. I really like the Venom films, but then I'm a sucker for a slavering maw filled with pointy teeth. You've got Madam Web, which is peak cinema, and then of course you've got Morbius, which is a fucking black hole of taste, just sucking in everything around it. Like, I don't know why people think Jared Leto is a good actor. I think the only movie that I've seen him in that I have even, like, tolerated him was, like, Blade Runner 2049. And Blade Runner 2049 already has a lot going for it, which kind of contributes to that. In part, being a really good sequel to probably one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. If you have not seen the original Blade Runner, please, for the love of God, go watch Blade Runner: The Final Cut. It's so fucking good. Kraven the Hunter is better than Morbius, which isn't a high bar to clear, but is a bar that I appreciate them clearing. And I think part of what helps that is the fact that Aaron Taylor Johnson is a genuinely, like, charming actor. Like, he actually has genuine charisma, and I appreciate him for that. I feel like we don't give Aaron Taylor Johnson enough credit, you know? Like, I haven't seen either of the Kick-Ass movies, but, like, I liked him in the 2014 Godzilla. I thought he did that role really well. But then, like, I'm one of the few people that actually like that movie. What else? I'm trying to remember. I live skeeted it while I was watching it. Let me see if I can find my thread to just kind of discuss some of the stuff that I... So, like I said, this is the Legendary Once a Fine movie. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and snooze the ad break so I can talk about this. You guys, everyone will be able to sit here and watch me sit at a pause screen and talk about Kraven the Hunter for God knows how long. So Kraven the Hunter, all of these Sony's Spider-Man universe movies feature like a number of like minor Spider-Man characters, sometimes villains, that Sony has access to that like are all kind of like tangentially related to each other. With Kraven, you've actually got like a decent like core character set to pull from, because like if you do a movie about Kraven the Hunter, there's three characters you can guarantee being able to utilize right away. Craven himself, Calypso, his girlfriend, and his half-brother, the Chameleon. Chameleon, of course, being like the very first Spider-Man villain when Spider-Man got his own solo comic. And he's in this. The use of Chameleon in this movie is weird, man. This whole movie is fucking weird. You also got the Rhino. And I have to say, I really appreciated the Rhino's actor. Because he wasn't chewing the scenery, but he was clearly having fun. And I do appreciate that in a character. But one of the things that I noticed while I was watching this, specifically regarding Chameleon, is that they introduced the idea of Chameleon imitating people very early on, where he's kind of like imitating him and Craven's father to just like make fun of him. And they're just like, haha, you're too good at that. And it's not subtle, but it did feel understated really early on. And I was just like, I kind of appreciate that. Like I've seen like bad movies that have been way less subtle in like their foreshadowing. And then we hit the time skip, and the next time that we see Chameleon, he is singing in like I guess a club that he owns, and he's imitating Harry Styles while he's doing so. And the subtitles specifically say imitating Harry Styles. And then it cuts to a conversation that their dad is having, and he says the line, "He can do anyone, he's like Chameleon." And it's just like, okay, we're just going for it then. All right, cool. There's some nice scenes in the movie. Like I really, oh god, the scenes where Craven is interacting with his brother, where like he is being really nice to him. They have like a great sort of like camaraderie going on. Craven feels really bad about, because he left home really early and kind of left Chameleon with their abusive father. And he feels really bad for feeling like he abandoned him. And it's revealed by the end that this is something that Chameleon has resented him for years. Which is why kind of like he does like a after post 11th hour like heel or face heel turn, where he's just like, all this time he was just like, he didn't want anything to do with their father's business, and then like by the end of it he's just like, no, you know what, I'm gonna take over our father's like Russian mob contacts, and I'm going to run his criminal empire. And it's just like, oh, okay. There's also another, so I was unsure who the final villain of this movie was going to be. Like, the obvious pick was going to be, like, their father, right? Because, like, they set this up, like, really early on in the Flash. Like, okay, the very first opening scene is a actually pretty good, like, establishing scene with regards to Craven, where it's just like, you see him, he's like on like a prison transport, and he gets to the prison. It turns out he's trying to kill somebody inside, and then it turns out that he killed and took the place of another prisoner in order to get inside to kill this guy, because this guy is part of like his father's criminal network. And it's honestly a pretty good scene. I like some of the stunt work in this movie. There's a lot of really clear wire work, but like there's a lot of like really good momentum to some of the stunts that I really appreciated. A lot of like the big action scenes are pretty good. Maybe not John Wick good, but like they were you can see they're trying. And I appreciate the effort. But yeah, obviously his dad seems like the big one, because just like they have the whole extended flashback that established that like their father like values strength over all, where he's just like, he is like, what's the word I'm looking for? He is talking shit about his sons, being weak and stuff like that. And he's very clearly like emotionally abusive, and later on we realize like was likely also physically abusive. So just like very, very obvious like contender for like the main villain. But then we also have the Rhino, who like what's the word I'm looking for? Traditionally the Rhino is more of a mook kind of supervillain, where he's just like, he tends to be in stories dumb muscle. I think the only like change to that I would say is like the Ultimate Spider-Man video game, where he's like actually a genius inside a giant robotic like rhino mech. So in this, he is actually kind of like an up-and-comer trying to like take over Daddy Kravinoff's criminal empire like forcibly. So like it's just like, okay, maybe he's the final villain. And then he has this guy working for him called the Foreigner, who is not a Spider-Man villain that I had ever heard of prior to this movie. And quite frankly, does not have any kind of presence in this film, really. He's got some like weird sort of like 1-2-3 superpower where he can like, anyone who like looks him in the eye, he can stun them for like 3 seconds, and he uses this to like take people out. It's super weird, not given a lot of explanation, and he gets killed by Calypso in a headshot after beating up a Kraven fucked up on hallucinogens. Let's continue in the meantime, because we got an ad break coming up, and I want to make sure that nobody watching the stream misses any of me talking about Kraven the Hunter. If they miss the gameplay, that's fine. I'll try and multitask once the ad's over. So I think this used to be a touchscreen puzzle. How did you know my internet cut out? That's a good question. Maybe I'm the one controlling it.
Like time itself has stopped.
So we got
beach. They came from here.
That explains why Morgan cordoned off the area.
We got globsters again. If you remember globsters from earlier in the game. They were just like these big, like, blobby dudes we just found hanging on a beach. Hanging on a beach. Hanging on a beach. At least he got a human, more or less.
I wonder if those corpses on the beach were Veltro.
But basically, the idea is that the globsters are essentially just like bloated corpses from the Queen Dido that just kind of washed up on the beach. Washed up on the beach. Sharks! Hi, hello. God, look at those fucking PNGs out there. Those are straight up just 2D images. Look at them. Oh, I love them. Let's take a screenshot of that. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Flawless, no notes. Oh.
Something's still alive.
Careful, you won't be able to fight them off underwater.
That's not entirely true. I believe we can actually find, like, BOW decoy grenades that will kill them underwater. Oh, the ad ended. I can continue talking about Kraven. Did I watch Resident Evil Death Island? Yes. It is by far my favorite of the CG Resident Evil films, which is saying a lot because we live in a world where Resident Evil Vendetta exists, which has the best stupid gunplay sequences I've ever seen in a movie. I maintain that if you're going to have like gunfights in your film, you need to make them you have to be on one of two levels. You either need to make them just like gorgeous like bullet ballets like John Wick, or they need to be super fucking dumb like Resident Evil Vendetta. If it is anything other than that, your movie is going to be dumb and bad. See Ghost in the Shell live action. Doors locked. But Resident Evil Death Island is absolutely fantastic. I should rewatch Resident Evil Death Island now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, I'll see if I can get the power going.
Anyways, Kraven the Hunter. Now that the ad's over. So yeah, like towards the end, when they're kind of like coming up, there's this really good like action sequence where like Kraven's like taking out a bunch of these fucking mooks in some woods, and it's pretty good. I always like seeing bear traps use like projectile and or melee weapons. I think that's the switch over there. Jill, you're a little late. It's all about the Switch 2 now. But like at one point, the Foreigner hits Kraven with like a hallucinogenic dart. How am I gonna do this? Maybe I could try going over him, but I'm a little worried about that. Alright, let's just try this. Let's just go. Let's just go. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think this was intended. And it's just, it's this weird thing where it's just like, the Foreigner isn't really built up as like a very effective threat in the movie. Like, he does the whole like, stuns you for 3 seconds just by looking at you bit a few times, but it's just like, they don't establish much more of like his danger level outside of that. You know? And then, like, his only fight against Kraven is when Kraven is all fucked up on hallucinogens and is not at all at, like, top form. So it's not particularly impressive as a fight, unfortunately. So, like...
Jill, the door's open.
Okay, on my way back.
It's not particularly impressive as a fight. Like, I don't feel like Kraven was really in any danger. Because it's just like, there's nothing indicating that this guy would be any sort of a threat if Kraven was, like, in top form, you know? And just, like, otherwise, we don't really know a whole lot about this guy, so it's just, like, he shows up, drugs Kraven, beats him up a little bit, And then he gets shot through the eye by Calypso, and it's just like, okay, he's dead now.
That was close.
It's just like, all right, that's cool, I guess.
Okay, let's move in.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for coming by. You can pick up your check on the way out. I don't know. Like I said, it's just he's such a non-entity in the film. It's kind of embarrassing, really.
There's still air. Who's that? He hasn't been dead for long.
He's not even, like, wearing a wetsuit. How'd he get down here?
There's something in his hand.
Blech. There was a point, so like I said, Daddy Kravinoff, like, really values, like, a person's strength over all else, and he will not hesitate to say that, like, he thinks someone is weak. So one of the things that happens in, like, the flashback portion of the movie is that he meets, like, Alexei Sitsevich, the guy who goes on to become Rhino, talks some shit to him, calls him weak. And then after the time skip, we meet Alexei Sitsevich again, and he's just like, yeah, I went to this doctor to become not weak, and he did this thing to me that if I don't, like, have a drip feed of, like, some sort of chemical, my skin starts to harden, I become bulletproof, it's super painful. And, like, they show him with, like, the IV removed a couple times, and, like, his skin gets all, like, hard and gray, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, if Rhino just ends up being a dude with a skin condition, that's gonna be fucking hilarious. I'm happy to report that he does, when at the end of the movie they have, like, the big final battle between Kraven and Rhino, because Rhino ends up being, like, the climactic villain of the movie, not the big bad, but the climactic villain. He does grow horns. Oh my god, they Killer Croc'd him? No, it's not quite as embarrassing, thankfully. He does grow horns when he goes full Rhino, and he is a genuine threat. Because, like, you know, Kraven's trying to do, like, stab him and shit like that, but he can't get through his impenetrable hide. But he's got, like, this jack for his IV just, like, surgically implanted into his side, and it's, like, his only weak point. So, it's a pretty good fight. They're, like, there's, like, a turned over truck that's used as, like, a major, so he's Bane. Kind of, actually. But, like, kind of sort of in the opposite, so, okay. So, like, it's the opposite direction. He needs to be removed, it's kind of, how to put this? So Bane needs a chemical to get, like, super strong, but he's still, like, kind of a strong guy otherwise, unless you're talking about, like, Christopher Nolan Bane, where the way that it works is that he's in constant pain, and he has, like, the headset that, like, is feeding him, like, anesthetic constantly, so he can't feel pain of any kind, and that's why he's able to do, like, magnificent feats of strength, though don't ask me how he doesn't tear his body apart in the process, we're not here to really discuss that. Whereas with Rhino, he needs to be removed from the drip feed in order to, like, Rhino out, you know? It's kind of... Oh God, what's a good example? Hilariously, another movie that Russell Crowe was in. So in The Mummy with Tom Cruise, this is kind of how Jekyll and Hyde work. Sorta? No. There isn't really a good example I can think of. But he becomes a big CG monster man. He grows horns. It's pretty great. And then it turns out in the end that... Okay. It turns out in the end that Daddy Kravinoff wanted to kill the Rhino, but thought he was himself too weak to actually do it. But he knew his son could do it, his son Kraven, because he had been following Kraven's exploits, hunting down the people in his organization. He's just like, my son could kill the Rhino. But he knew that he wouldn't kill the Rhino if he just asked him to. So instead, he slipped information to the Rhino that Sergei Kravinoff, I think it's Sergei, right? Sergei, hold on. Yeah, it was Sergei and Dimitri is the chameleon. Sergei is Kraven. So he slips information to the Rhino that Sergei Kravinoff is Kraven, so that the Rhino will go after Kraven, and then Kraven will go after the Rhino in retaliation, thus removing the problem. So he set all this up. And Kraven's just like, you motherfucker, I hate you. And then he leaves him to get killed by a bear. It's pretty good. And then it's just like, after all this, so part of this plot is that Dimitri, Chameleon, gets kidnapped by the Rhino to be used as leverage against Kraven and Daddy Kravinoff. And in the end, he's just like, yeah, you know what? I kind of figured out that I genuinely prefer being other people, because who I am myself is so weak that it would be better for me to pretend to be others. And this is how, like, the whole, like, origin story of the chameleon shakes out. I'm gonna pick this thing up. Picked up voice recorder.
This is Agent Dario Barioni of the FBC Armed Forces. The time is 1948. I request that this recorder be handed over to General.
Damn, that's like 60 years ago.
If found by the next team, everyone on my team is dead.
That's a joke, by the way. I know he means like 19 hours, 48 minutes.
To retrieve the video log. Our mission has failed. Veltro, they weren't sitting around waiting for death to come to them. When the FBC arrived, they were waiting for us. Even though Terra Grigio was a year ago. Thoughts of revenge kept them alive.
All right. And he mentions that he found a doctor in New York, and it's implied that it's the same doctor that turned the Rhino into the Rhino, and it's just like, oh, we're getting like a fucked up... There's like two distinct flavors of chameleon in Spider-Man media. You've either got somebody who's just straight up a master of disguise, with like there's no like super powered element to it. It's just he's really good at inhabiting roles and crafting disguises. Or you've got fucked up medical experiment chameleon with malleable skin. By the end of this movie, we have fucked up medical experiment chameleon, and there's even a shot of him with like the sort of like blank feature chameleon face like he's got in like the 90s animated series. 90s animated series was also kind of fucked up medical experiment, but he had like a Kamen Rider belt. It's weird. And I gotta say, the featureless chameleon face does not look good. I think, how did I describe it? It's a face that only a rapidly dwindling SFX budget could love. But, like, I was thinking about it after watching the movie, and the Chameleon is kind of a sexy lamp character. Like, you could replace him with a sexy lamp and you really, really wouldn't lose all that much. Like, it could be just like a sexy lamp that Kraven's dad owns that he really, really wants for himself. And I was trying to think, like, if there was any possible way that that could have been, like... What's the word I'm looking for? If there was any possible way that that could have been, like, salvaged, I guess. Because, like, it barely utilizes the fact that, like, oh yeah, here's a guy who is, like, an expert at imitating others, right?
Oh my god.
Some kind of fucked up banquet. Well, actually, no, it's more like a funeral procession. Oh, this guy's like half globster. Why is it so dark all of a sudden? Weird. But what I kind of came up on is just like, it would have been way better if it actually ended up being the Chameleon behind all of it. Like, even him going so far as to getting himself kidnapped and getting a finger cut off as like a threat to his father and his brother, just as part of like inhabiting the role. Like, he's so committed to this role that he's playing of like the weak brother and then manipulating everything behind the scenes, that he's willing to go so far as to having one of the people he's manipulating cut his goddamn finger off, just to like make all of this come together. And then like at the end, like Kraven has like killed the Rhino and he's killed their dad, and then Chameleon's just like, yeah, I framed our dad so that you would take out both him and the Rhino, and I could take over everything because I'm so pissed at like our father for abusing me for years, at like all these people who are standing in my way, and I'm pissed at you for abandoning me all those years ago, and I did all this to hurt all of you. It would have been such a good twist. Honestly, I don't think it could have saved the film, but it would have given the Chameleon more of a reason to be there. Because, like, if you make that the twist in the end, that it's just like it was the Chameleon all the time, inhabiting these roles, manipulating everything from behind the scenes by imitating the different players in order to make everybody act the way he wanted them to act. That's such a good use of that character and his skill set. And also it removes the sexy lamp aspect of him, where it's just like, you couldn't have like a prop do all this behind the scenes. He's no longer a prop character. He is an active participant in the plot. It just would have been way better. Personally, like, I think so. And my God, I cannot overstate how clearly Sony was giving up by the time this film was over. Because just like I said, Kraven the Hunter is the last planned non-Venom movie in the Sony Spider-Man universe. Because the Venom movies are still making bank. Even The Last Dance. Which I'm kind of cooling on a little bit. Like, I wasn't super hot on it to begin with, but I'm kind of cooling on it a little bit more. I think I need to watch all 3 movies back to back to really kind of like cement my opinions on them. But it's just like, you think about like Morbius and Madam Web, where it's just like Madam Web, I don't think didn't have like a mid or post credit scene, but it still had like this very sort of like fancy, like, like they have like the vanity credits where it's just like they've got like the graphics going and everything just like is really like they're listing like all the big players in the film, and it's like they've got like catchy music set to it, which is a similar thing that they did with Morbius. But Morbius also, I think, had at least a mid and post-credit scene, I believe. I haven't watched Morbius recently because I don't like Morbius. It's a bad movie. But it's just like, it's the same thing that they do for like a lot of these tentpole films where like you have the vanity credits that are just like, they got like the graphics and like they got everything like very pretty to like list all like the major actors in the movie and all the major players like casting director, producer, all that jazz. And they do like that final sort of like so-and-so Productions presents movie title. But then like you get Kraven the Hunter, and the quote-unquote vanity credits is just white text on a black background. It feels like a placeholder. You know? Like it's like oh god. It's like The Snowman. If you haven't seen The Snowman, you don't need to, but I would recommend watching Dan Olson's The Art of Editing in The Snowman to know what I'm talking about, where like the opening credits for The Snowman are 100% supposed to be placeholder credits, where again, it's just white text on a black background. Like the vanity credits for Kraven the Hunter are exactly the same. There's nothing like thematically interesting about them. They don't use any like fancy graphics or anything like that. It's just white text, black background. That's it. No mid-credit scene, no post-credit scene, because just like, you know what? They're done. They're done. They're not doing any that don't have Venom in them after this. So like, why even fucking bother? Dante Alighieri's La Divina Commedia, An Offering to the Dead. Passage has been underlined. Howl the rain maketh them like unto dogs. One side they make a shelter, for the other oft turn themselves the wretched reprobates. Dante Alighieri's La Divina Commedia, Inferno, Canto 6. There's something written at the edge of the page in sloppy handwriting. Those who offer their lives to the doctrine forever walk the path with the great Jack Norman. This sounds like they're talking about the layer of gluttony. Hold on. Inferno, Canto 6. Dante awakens the third circle of hell, Circle of the Gluttons. It's the rain that gives it away. See, the Circle of Gluttony is all about the way that it works is that there is like just a rain of just like tasteless slop that just constantly falls in the third circle. And just like all of the gluttons of the third circle, they can't stop eating it, but it never leaves them satisfied. Anyways, our final boss's name is fucking Jack Norman. What a fucking name. And he looks like shit.
The Queen Dido is already deep below the sea. There's no escape, no chance of survival.
How is there still air on this ship after a year, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, this is a good idea. You should definitely do this. Oh! Necromancer Kobold, thank you for the subscription. Only one guy breathing it, I suppose. I feel like even after a year... Like, how much oxygen actually has to be left?
We rise from the dead, our spirit in callous and immutable form.
innocents are right in here. We shall become guardians of the truth. For as many years as it may take.
Jack Norman was the head of Veltro.
Fucked up is true.
Video we can use to nail Lansdale.
Were there plants on the ship? I guess there's all these, like, herbs. There's nothing a Resident Evil villain loves more than injecting themselves with random bio goo. Some of them, it makes a little bit more sense than others. Like, I can kind of get Jack Norman doing it because it's just, like, he's trapped at the bottom of the sea. Like, at this point, he might as fucking well. Holy hand grenade, Batman. There are some villains that it makes, like, a lot less sense, generally speaking. Critical 1. Charge shot 2. Yeah, I don't think I can really use any of those. Okay. I think we're gonna lead with... Yeah, let's lead with the Magnum, actually. I'd kind of like this fight to take as little time as possible. I remember actually having a lot of trouble with this fight. Like that dick from RE5. Which dick from RE5? Cough, cough. What's his name from the boat fight in 5? Oh, that guy. I feel like he was pressured into that, though. Like, if you watch, like, his body language in that scene, it seems like he really doesn't want to, but it feels like he was given an ultimatum by Wesker. And I mean, like, Wesker is not exactly the kind of guy that if you're, like, a spineless dickweed, you're really going to, like, not listen to an ultimatum from. You know what I mean? It's an FPC corpse. Guess they were looking for clues, too.
By each one to be dreaded, who doth read that which was manifest unto mine eyes. Pape Satan, Alepe.
Okay, man, calm down.
Each one shall find again his dismal tomb, shall reassume his flesh and his own figure.
Like, you've got villains that, like, were already monsters, like the dude from RE4. Honestly, I think... What's his name? Krauser probably makes the least sense, honestly. Or maybe the most sense. Who can say? Just in sort of like a trying to surpass Leon kind of capability. Or Wesker from 5. Like, Wesker from 5, actually. Like, injecting himself with, like, the Ouroboros is maybe a little bit of a weird... unorthodox display of hubris, but very well. His reaction after the injection and during the transformation is kind of nonsense. He's just losing his fucking mind. His arm was all fucked and he wanted to be fixed. Is that what happens with Krauser? Listen, I haven't played Dark Side Chronicles, so I don't know what the backstory with Krauser is, really. One of these days. Then, of course, you've got the villains who were, like, turned into, like, monsters against their will, but, like, they're making the most of it. Like, oh, God, Excella? Like, she was tricked. The bitch from Leon's campaign in 6, who turns into a big meat dinosaur. And then, of course, you've got the people that are just losing their fucking minds, like the actual main villain of RE6 who turns into a big goop monster. And then you got people who are like just desperate, like Pierce, for example. You know, like he's not a villain, but like he was desperate to help, and it was the only way he could. But then a guy didn't. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There's the bosses that are like tricked into it or are turned against their will, like Excella or Meet Dinosaur Man. I'm sure there's a dumber villain transformation in one of the lesser known side games. Yeah, I haven't played Gun Survivor yet. I do have that game, and I want to play it at some point. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe I need to replay 5 to re-watch that scene where like he TFs into big river monster, but I don't know that there is. Oh, no, you know what? Alex Wesker in Revelations 2, I think, is probably one of the dumber ones. Actually, who have you? So okay, so the main villain in Revelations 2 is one of the children from the Wesker program established in RE5, Alex Wesker. She has this whole plan for, because like the whole thing with the Wesker children is that they were meant to help Oswald E. Spencer find the answer for immortality, because he was an old fucking shithead idiot who didn't want to die. So like everything that like Albert does over the course of the series is a attempt to gain immortality, essentially. Alex Wesker actually kind of comes up with an actionable plan, but here's the thing. So Alex Wesker creates a new virus. I want to say it's some sort of combination of Ouroboros and the T virus. That okay, this is going to require a bit of explanation here, and we're not even in that game. Okay. Alex Wesker figures out a method of basically imprinting one's consciousness onto another person. But the only way to do that is if it is somebody who is resistant to fear. Right? If this is a person who can be overcome with fear and maintain their composure, I'm going to snooze the ad break to talk about this. If it's a person who can be overcome with fear and maintain their composure, then they are a candidate for the process to imprint one's consciousness onto their brains. So Alex Wesker gets this idea where it's just like, okay, I am going to bring everybody to this little Russian island that I own, inject them with a virus that is activated when they are overcome with fear and lose composure. And whoever manages to survive this test will be a candidate for me to imprint my consciousness onto their brain. And what is found is that the kind of people that can be overwhelmed with fear and not succumb to it are the kind of people who have in their lives been faced with a great traumatic experience. So just like right out the gate, the people that I believe we know from Revelations 2 are able to do this are people like I think Claire never gets that scared in the game, but would have reasonably been able to overcome it because she went through fucking Raccoon City. You've got Moira Burton, one of Barry's daughters, who does end up being overcome with fear, but doesn't succumb to fear because she has gone through a traumatic experience in her life, which was when she was younger, Barry left one of his guns unlocked and she shot her sister. Her sister ended up being fine, but it was such a traumatic experience that basically there's like nothing that scares her now, essentially. Or she's able to she doesn't succumb to fear when it's overwhelming. Or you've got the young Natalia from Revelations 2, who is able to work through fear and doesn't succumb to it because she lived in Terra Grigia. And she lived through the Terra Grigia panic. So where does this bring us to the point of like Alexia being like a stupid idiot who injected herself with a virus and went through a transformation? Well, Alex Wesker, Moira also got help from a cool old man who was also managing to survive on that island. Yes. So Alex Wesker thought herself queen shit. And she's just like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to succumb to fear. That would be stupid. And she, excuse me, in her grand experiment, she marks Natalia as the perfect candidate for imprinting her own consciousness onto. She is young, which means that she's got years and years and years ahead of her, enough for Alex to basically like track down another candidate before like it gets too late. And B, she can be overcome with fear but not succumb to it. So she goes through the process of imprinting her consciousness onto Natalia, and then when she's just like, haha, my plan worked perfectly, bye, and shoots herself in the fucking head. So here's the problem. She was maybe a little bit too overconfident in her ability, and in the very second before she shot herself, she was overcome with the fear, wait, shit, what if this doesn't work? And she transformed into a gross monster. So I would say that she is probably like a prime candidate for maybe the dumbest instance of injecting yourself with a fucked up virus and transforming into a fucked up monster, because she was so overconfident in her own abilities. God, we need a Revelations 3 to continue that story. We do. I need to know, God, the fucking, like, the goddamn fucking, what's it called? Cliffhanger in that game. I need a resolution to it. Anyways, let's go talk to this guy.
Through eternity, re-echoes.
Hello, sir. You okay? It's not the biogoo injection, but the transformation of the Magneto dude from 8 is kind of dumb.
How dare you cross Veltro?
I don't know about that. All of the villains in Resident Evil 8 were already kind of fucked. Alright, good night, Lila. Oh. Cutscene. Or camera angle change.
Indeed, this little machine contains the truth. Oh, the truth needed to bring down your entire charade.
Oh, sick. I'm just gonna go real quick, grab that. Thank you. All right, bye.
We got the evidence.
Oh. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Good plan. Good plan.
Stop.
Oh.
Morgan, behold the terror which you have unleashed.
Just loving that bio-goo feeling. Will he become a fish? Let's find out. Oh, he took more of the bio-goo. All right, we got an ad break coming up. We can go ahead and sit at the results screen until it's back so nobody misses anything. Oh, it's like Vicar Amelia. He just turns into Gage. Wouldn't that be fucked up? Wouldn't it? I'm getting a 3D model soon. I could always, like, buy the PC version and just mod it so he turns into me. Oh, boy. I'm excited to get that. I'm worried that my computer won't be able to run that program and OBS at the same time. But we'll find out, I guess. Ugh. Ugh. Stretch all my limbs. And my back. Where's my phone? There it is. Check on my phone real quick. I gotta say, I'll occasionally get, like, notifications from, like, smaller VTubers, that, like, aren't like bigger names, but, like, are clearly, like, actual fucking people. And I, you know, a lot of times, like, the content that they make is not stuff I'm necessarily interested in, but I appreciate them being there, you know? It's just like, I will take 1,000, like, smaller VTubers that, like, just are in the grand scheme of things, just, like, not necessarily quite as like well known as, like, some of the bigger ones, versus just, like, I keep getting these ones where it's just like I open up their fucking Blue Sky account, and it's just like, oh, they're following 7,000 people, and they're talking about how, like, they're pre-debut, and you look at their media tab and there's nothing in it, or it's all just like, okay. I remember before I moved to Blue Sky, before, like, I moved over entirely to Blue Sky, I remember getting a couple, like, follows on Twitter from accounts that clearly were not real people. And, like, they would post, like, they would be like, oh, I'm open for commissions. And then, like, you'd look at their, like, media tab, and it was one of two things. It was either they have commissions that they've done that are all in wildly different, like, art styles, or they'll post images and being like, I'm open for this kind of commission, and then, like, there's, like, some sort of, like, disclaimer either on the image or, like, in the hashtags that the art showcased isn't fucking theirs. It's just like, what are you doing, quite frankly? I think the other thing is just, like, I'm also still, like, hung up on that one fucking, like, follow or, like, notification that I got forever ago on, not forever ago, but, like, a couple weeks ago on Blue Sky, where it was an AI VTuber. I complained about this recently, where it's just like, what a fucking joke, quite frankly. You had to AI generate a personality for yourself because you don't have one. But it's just like, it was this whole thing where it's just like, it's just a very generic VTuber model. All of the dialogue is like AI generated. It's got an AI generated like text-to-speech voice. It's just like, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing to watch. I cannot stress enough how much more I appreciate just like smaller VTubers that like I don't know if I'm necessarily going to gel with your like content or not, but like I appreciate them being there nonetheless. It is, I feel, a very important like element to like the ecosystem, whereas just like all of this other just bullshit is you know? Anyway, let's do our final boss fight. We need a Resident Evil story filled with villains that explicitly act like drug addicts, preaching how much even their foot soldiers love injecting themselves with bio goo. Oh, he's just a tyrant.
Stop! Morgan isn't here.
It's no use. He's gone over the edge.
Like, that's literally just a tyrant. I forgot. Oh, right, he does that. He does have big fucked up, like, fish hands and fins. But otherwise, like, it's just a tyrant.
What the?
Ow. Okay.
I don't think he's in the mood to say goodbye.
Yeah, but we're not here to babysit either.
So I don't expect this to last very long. Ow. Mostly because, like, I've got a lot of ammo for my machine gun, and it's kind of busted. Oh, shit. I should probably, like... Oh, shit. Oh, shit, fuck.
Revenge has consumed him. Nothing human remains.
Yeah, there you go. There's the explanation. Oh, fuck. Ah, fuck! Don't do it, don't do it. Fuck. Got another one. Oh. Fuck. Give me another one. Thank you. Ow. Ow. Ow! Fucking shit.
What is he, immortal? Here he comes. Don't get distracted.
Oh, that thing's not looking so good. Oh! And we're done. Okay, I love the discourse surrounding the dumb crap Resident Evil biomonsters can do, but what the fuck biological power allows this guy to teleport? It's solar flare.
I can die.
Remarkably, he seems to have, like, maintained his consciousness that whole time, which is more than you can say for some of the other ones. He's just consumed with vengeance.
This is how Morgan treats his friends.
I remember having a lot of trouble with this fight the first time I played it, but I can't remember if I played it on console or 3DS first. I think it was probably console. I feel like I remember having a much easier time on 3DS.
The means of dispersion?
The cruise ship is equipped with a UAV. That is your delivery system.
Uh-oh.
Very well. Now show me the goods.
Bonafide T-Abyss. No vaccine. Not yet.
Yes, of course. A little bit of this could turn a city inside out.
I think we're done. I'll be on my way.
Who would have thought, yes? That the lowly terrorists would receive a helping hand from the venerable commissioner of the FBC.
Good thing you said that out loud on tape.
As you can see, it's not likely you'll be wriggling out of this one.
I seem to have underestimated the BSAA.
Do you just have a copy of the Divine Comedy on hand? You carry that with you?
In the off-limits area near Terra Grigia. We're done analyzing it, so you can have it back.
Director O'Brien, surely you understand our dilemma. Without the Terra Grigia panic, the ignorant masses would be unaware of the threat that lies before them.
Yes, you may in fact be correct.
No one has the right to detain me. The world required my guidance. It was all for the greater good.
The greater good.
You're only fooling yourself. You said yourself, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. But I'm not Dante, and you're not Virgilius. Morgan Lansdale, you are hereby relieved of your position as FBC Commissioner.
Yeah, this is the wrong Capcom game to have Virgil and Dante in it.
On suspicion of conspiring with Veltro in the planning and execution of the Terra Grigia panic.
With all due respect, Director O'Brien, the BSAA is making a huge mistake.
Unlikely.
Where have I heard that before?
We did it! We won! Congratulations! You won! Now we just ride out the credits and all the final cutscenes. Damn! Triple S'd it. I think that's just going to leave us with, like, SSB, so we're probably going to end with a, yep, A rank. Love that I had 100% accuracy on the level that I couldn't actually shoot anything on.
We can finally reveal what happened at Terra Grigia.
Yeah, but the cost was high.
The BSAA will have to be overhauled.
The storm is gone now. But how long will it last?
Any theories on what the BSAA is up to in 9? Ooh, fuck. That's going to be interesting to find out. After Morgan Lansdale's arrest, the FBC was dissolved with the majority of its agents and resources transferred to the BSAA. The BSAA would then be reformed into an anti-bioterrorism organization under the auspices of the United Nations. There we go. And look, Quint and Keith are okay. They'll come back, I'm sure. Keith Lumley is now a leading figure at BSAA's East African branch due to his accomplishments at Valkoinen Moki. Valkoinen Mok? Quint Ketchum, on the other hand, continues to refuse promotion to any leadership position, but he still works at the BSAA's main headquarters in the R&D department. You were right, Xanda. Parker, what are you doing? Parker Luciani was found adrift offshore the Republic of Malta in the Mediterranean Sea and was rescued. He goes on to show up in one of the mangas. After a month of medical treatment, Parker returned to his position as a special operations agent for BSAA's main headquarters. Clybar O'Brien decided to take responsibility for his actions and step down from his position as head of the BSAA. I believe he writes a book that you can find in Resident Evil 7. He is currently an advisor to the BSAA and is also writing a detective novel from the comfort of his own home. There you go. I believe you find that detective novel in RE7, if I recall correctly. Oh. As for Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield, they have no idea what horrific fate awaits them. Whoa, those credits are going by fast. So that's Resident Evil Revelations. As I've said previously, this is by far one of my favorite Resident Evil games, and was in fact the game that really kind of got me into the series. I bounced off of every other Resident Evil game that I tried playing before this one, and playing the demo for this one on the 3DS got me just like, you know, maybe I'd like the Resident Evil games, and just like everything snowballed from there. So I appreciate this game, and I appreciate its place in my life. And I enjoy it, and I think it's a lot of fun. Chris hits the steroids and Jill bleached her hair and skin. She gets better. Her natural skin tone and hair color come back by Death Island. God, I'm going to watch Death Island after this. I really want to watch Death Island after talking about it. But yeah, that's Resident Evil Revelations. It's probably going to be a bit before we finally get around to Resident Evil 5. I need to get art for that stream because I guess I've just like committed to getting new art for every single Resident Evil game. So I hope you'll stay tuned, if you will, for that. From here on Saturdays, we are going to, at the very least, when we get back to a normal schedule, and maybe just even next week, we're going to be pivoting to Star Wars Saturdays, and we're going to start playing Force Unleashed starting next weekend. I do want to thank everybody for coming by the stream. I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. If you enjoyed the stream, you can subscribe here on Twitch. We have special emotes for subscribers. You can also follow me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at AcidXShark. That's AcidXSHARK, where I post all the streams as they happen. Or you can follow me on YouTube at AcidXShark, where I post all the streams after they happen. Art for the stream was done by Chubsy, who you can find on Blue Sky at CHUBBZIIE.bsky.social. Fantastic artist. Highly recommend checking her stuff out. Highly recommend commissioning her when she's open. It's just, has done work for me in the past that's all been fan-fucking-tastic. VTuber was done by Audrey and B of Team Capel. You can find on Blue Sky, Twitch, Tumblr, YouTube, VGen at Team Capel. That's TEAMCATPLE. They also do fantastic work. They also take commissions. You should use the VGen to commission them. I've got some new stuff in the pipeline I'm pretty excited for. Don't email them. Don't do it. I don't even know what their email would be. But don't try it. Just use the VGen. It's super easy. It's super convenient. And you should get art from them. They're really good artists. Upcoming streams. I am going to be streaming tomorrow, actually. Just kind of make up for not being able to really stream at any other point during the week. It's probably going to be Shadow of Mordor. And then, again, it's going to be another week of just kind of playing things by ear. I do plan to stream, at the very least, next Saturday, where, like I said, we will be streaming Star Wars Force Unleashed. And again, I am taking donations to help with some of the recent medical costs from Natalie's hospital stay. So if you are able to donate, you can do so using the link just below the stream. We appreciate anything anyone can give. Let's see what Conan O'Brien's up to.
Almost too easy, wasn't it?
Jessica!
The company let them take Morgan out with the trash.
Tough world.
You filed a report on this. By the way, why save Parker?
I have my reasons.
The BSAA isn't as useless as I thought. Things could really heat up.
Indeed. The fun's just getting started.
I want to say that the company that they're probably referring to is likely Tricell, but we don't really know for sure. One of the unfortunate things about the Revelations games is that there's not really a whole lot of follow-up on a lot of their plot threads. We did pretty good. Congratulations. Now you can use the save data to start a new game with all of your equipment intact. Would you like to save cleared data? We strongly suggest you save it yourself. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, anything anyone can give is appreciated. You know, it has been pretty difficult, just like between like what happened and then us like trying to like recover after the fact. So we appreciate everything everyone's already given, and we appreciate anything anyone can give going forward. Like I said, I am planning to do a larger donation drive at some point. I have a gimmick in mind for it. I just need to figure out how that gimmick will work and then choose a game for it. Because that's kind of the big thing. It's just like I want something that's gonna pull people in. I want something for the gimmick to work. It needs to be a game that's like reasonable in length, like 6 to 8 hours probably. And if I have to restart it for one reason or another, wouldn't be too devastating. So I'm gonna need to look into options for that. But yeah. I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see you next time on the Shark Stream. Same Shark time, same Shark channel. Take care, everybody.